A very good evening and very warm welcome uh, to all the participants. Resource person of today's session, Dr. Asit Panja sir, all the organizers, and we are having chairperson of today's session, Professor Surendra Ved Pathak sir. Today, Dr. Asit Panja sir will be delivering his lecture on Vadamarga, Tantra, Yukti, and Tadvidya Sambhasha. Sir is currently working as Associate Professor in the Department of Maulik Sidhhanta, National Institute of Ayurveda, deemed to be University, Jaipur. Sir is also in charge of Ayurveda Manuscriptology Unit, Nodal Agency of Ministry of Ayush, NIA, and also in charge of Audiovisual Repository of History of Ayurveda. He is coordinator of Revitalization, Folklore, and Local Health Traditions, NIA. I would like to invite Sir for his today's session.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, audible hai.
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
At the outset, I would like to bow down the lotus feet of Lord Dhanvantari for the blessings and for the success of this lecture. And after that, thank you, the organizer, Ved Pathak sir, Shajuram Yadav ji, Sarika ji, and other all organizers for giving me the opportunity to share some of my views regarding these three huge topics. Though sharing. Now, is it available? Is it now visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Visible, no? So, today I will discuss, or better to say, I will put some light on the three major topics, Tadvidya, Sambhasha, Vadamarga, and Tantra Yukti. Though in the sequence I have been given, in that sequence it is given in a different sequential order. But here, as per the need of research, or actually, the Tadvidya, Sambhasha, Vadamarga, and Tantra Yukti, all topics you are reading from very beginning of your BMS courses and postgraduate in preparation for the BG everywhere. And now, what is the utility? If I go deeper to the assessment of all the things, then it will take a huge time. Huge time. In Tadvidya, Sambhasha, it will take 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, and then Vadamarga, it will take another 3, 4 hours, and Tantra Yukti. So what I will going to do is I will focus on certain area, in which area we should focus whenever we are utilizing these tools to represent ourselves, to develop our skill and competency, to utilize the different techniques to present ourselves, to utilize these different classical aphorism for presenting our research work in the form of theses or dissertations. So how we are going to utilize all these three aspects in a nutshell. So whatever I will discuss, all will be in nutshell. It will not in detail, because Vadamarga content 44 different tools. Then Tadvidya, Sambhasha, again it has some 19 different aspects, and Tantra Yukti again 32 to 40. So basically, in Tadvidya, Sambhasha, we will discuss its goal and rules. Nowadays, we are actually, if we modulate the term like webinar and the seminar, now we, after Corona, we are becoming that seminar or GV, like as Modi ji says, the Andolan GV, like seminar GV. We are becoming fond of online seminar or offline seminar. But whether we are following the classical guidelines how to conduct the seminars, and how the outcome of the seminar are to be recorded, and how that outcome should be utilized in a proper way. These aspects we are not focusing proper way. So nowadays, it is very needed topic, so that we can focus in such a way that our gaining goals or gaining drive. Suppose if you are going to attend any seminars, or if you are listening any online lecture, everything, what you are going to get, what will be your precondition of your mind to get some outcome of this, and how you modulate your hearing to guide a outcome of listening. Everything we will discuss, and Vadamarga, how we will use these usages, and later on in practical forms. Then Tantra Yukti in technical analysis. Moving. The slide is not moving. What is happening? Some drawing tool has come. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible, but slides are not changing.
But some drawing tool has come. So now I am escaping. What happened?
Sir, voice is not coming.
Voice is not coming.
Yes, now audible, sir. Now audible.
But this slide is not moving. Some tools has come.
So, sir, close the slide and reopen, sir. Reopen the whole slide again, sir. In that case.
I am again sharing. No.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Please, please. Now visible, sir. Visible, sir.
Visual. So major goal of Tadvidya Sambhasha. First, that why the seminar are being conducted. First one is the enhancement of the knowledge. What are the knowledge content we have? In the form of knowledge, is in the form of wisdom, and in the form of bhakti, means the practical implementations. Practical implementation for the science, for the humanity, and developing skill and competency, that is wisdom from the knowledge, and the enhancement of the knowledge. Everyone, jnana abhisanyoga harshakari bhavati. Then expertise, vaisharadham apicha vinivartayati. If we properly conduct the seminars in the form of Tadvidya Sambhasha, it will lead to expertise of the subjects and expertise of the presentation. Then Vachana Shakti Mapi Adatte, there will be the enhancement of the fluency. Then there will be fame, because if you are giving lecture and your lecture are getting the proper audience, then you will get the fame. Like most of the people, Indian people, yogis and other, they used to go to Western country, and after giving lecture, jasascha vidiyate, and after doing the bada, or in a lecturing in a seminar, get the fame. Then purva srute cha sandhya vasa punas sravanat suta sangsayam apavarsheti. And in the Vad, if you hear any subject matter repeatedly, then what will happen? That will remove the bias by re-listening. Suppose you have listened it prior, then after some time you are re-listening, so that will cause the removing of the bias. Then knowledge will be confirmed by, if you listened previously, but it was not properly precipitated in your knowledge or in your mind, then Srutecha asandeha vasato vato. If there was any doubt, it was not precipitated properly, bhuyo adyavasayam abhinivartayati. Then asrutamapi, if you did not hear, or if you never have the acquaintance of some kind of knowledge, then you will get the new knowledge. So it has every aspects, enhancement of the knowledge, develop the skill and competency, develop the fluency, getting the frame, removing the bias, and confirmation of the knowledge, that their knowledge will be pure and final, and you also will gain new knowledge. And we'll discuss some aspect, not detail. See, first one is Sandhya Sambhasha. Okay. In the Sandhya Sambhasha, that is called friendly discussion. And Vigriya Sambhasha is called hostile discussion. So there are two types of discussion, Sambhasha. Discourse. One is friendly discourse, Sandhya Sambhasha. And what is the purpose of the friendly discourse? The purpose of friendly discourse is to get knowledge with exchange of thoughts. Get knowledge with the exchange of thoughts. Then what are the rules of that? So before that, I am discussing the hostile discussions purpose. The purpose of hostile discussion or Vigriya Sambhasha is to develop skill and competency to compete with others. If there are some other people, some you are approaching one interview or you are giving some kind of hostile discourse, then you develop certain skill or subtle presenting methods that will to compete with others. So see the rules. Rules is to whom this friendly discussion is being conducted and to whom the other will be conducted. If your purpose is only Jnana, Vijnana, Vachana, Prativachana, Sakti, Sampannena, Akopanena, Anupaskritya Vidyena, Anasuyekena, Anunayena, Anukopan Videna, Klesakshemena, Priya Sambhasena, cha Sandhya Sambhasha Vidiyate. Means Sandhya Sambhasha is being conducted in a friendly conditions where your mentality, your intellect, and your driving force, all the intellects, mentality and driving force, Kriya Shakti, Manas and Buddhi, all are driving for gaining knowledge only, not subdue the others. And in this course also, whenever you have the patience to hear or patience to listen everyone with a proper salutation, then that will be called a friendly discussions. And in the other words, that will be Vigriya. So in that condition, what you have to, some point you have to give some focus, that is, nacha nigra vayat udbijet, nigriyam cha enam na hrisset, nacha paresu vikatet, nacha mohat ekantagrahi set, nacha avidadam anuvarnayet, sammak chorunayet, cha avaitasyat. So in normally, in these rules are to be followed. Again, it is getting so in these Vigriya Sambhasha, there are two different types of character we have to assess. That is very, very important points to discuss. One is, what are the desirable character of you, of one opponent or of a presenter, and what are the avoidable qualities. In normal discussions, there will be no purpose to subdue others. But whenever you are discussing for a hostile discussion, that time you have to develop certain qualities, and with these certain qualities you should fight. And fight means to present your research work or present your dissertations or present your research proposal with that qualities, and in that presentation these qualities should be avoided. So first one is Srutam, Vijnanam, Dharanam, Pratibhanam, Vachana Saktiriti. These are the desirable gun. Means you are well versed You must have well heard all the things related to your topic from the Guru, Drishta, Shastrartha, everything. In Dharana, you must have the proper Dharan Sukti, means whatever you have read, whatever you have studied from your Guru, that should be properly, sequentially, meaning wise, and needfully, you have to restore within you. Then Prativana, that should be presented in a proper way. Then Vachana Shakti. And Vachana Shakti means your elocution skill, means your presentation style should be conditions. So these are the desirable qualities, and avoidable qualities are Kopanatvam, Avaisharadhatvam. Kopanatvam means easy getting angry, and Avaisharadham, unexpertiseness. Then Viruttam, there is a mentality to get worried by certain things. Then Adharanatvam, not able to properly remembering these things, and Anavirattam, and not acquainting all the things. So these are these five quality one must not have whenever he is doing the practical discourse. It means also in the presentation also must have not the avoidable guna. So if you have the avoidable guna, you have to change this by you have to transform or translate these gunas into different way so that there will be proper allocations. Okay. So now the discussion in a normal conditions, in friendly discussions, which is enjoyed with such a persons who are endowed with scientific learning, who has the power of argument, who do not get irritated, who is having uncensored knowledge, who are not jealous, who can be made to understand, who are competent in convincing others, who are capable of facing difficulties, situations, who are able to address in sweet note. So these are the main conditions. Now, the advantage of these allocations in compared to the current one. Suppose now we are also doing allocations, when we are doing Sambhasha, present day seminars, and we had the past day Sambhasha. So in that conditions, if we consider these different angle, like what are the place of conducting the seminars, what are the feasibility, what are the convents of the seminar, what are the gender participations, what are the dress code, what are the lodging, fooding, everything if we consider in compared to current one, we will see that we are deviating from our main purpose. Main purpose is to gain the knowledge. Main purpose is to explore and evolve one certain thing with the help of expertise persons. And after that, that outcome should be translated into the service of the humanity. That is missing. Nowadays, we are conducting seminar, but it is not properly conveyed. Just for example, in the food item which were prepared, either in that time it was either in the as per the rules of Ayurveda, but in the current day seminars, though it is not under the topic, I am just giving some kind of added data that food, everything what we are doing, that was mainly Raja Guna Pradhana and Tama Guna Pradhanam. Preparing in the morning, taking in the daytime, so Jato Yamam Gatarasam. So everything leads to the we are producing some botherness, or we are producing some hurdles which give some barrier to gaining the knowledge. So in this seminar also we have to discuss all these, we have to address all these matter. Or if we see in our text what are the different seminar have been conducted in classical period. Suppose in Charak Samhita there are 7 different debate which are mentioned in our classics, right from the very beginning, like first chapter to Rajasthan, Sutra 26, Sutra 12. So there are 7 different parishad where this kind of seminar are conducted. And if you see in that seminar, how the discussion was monitored. Discussion was monitored according to the goal and not according to the persons. Like you see, or I'm just giving one example because within 1 hour I have to complete 3 topics. So one example, like in Atre Bhadragapya chapter, you will see that everyone is asked for how many types of rasas. But you will see that there are 9 different opinions which have come out as an outcome. But whenever Atre is analyzing all these things, he is not discarding anything. He is telling that Bhadragapya is saying that Udak is the only variety of rasa, but Atre is telling that Udak is not a variety of rasa. It is the yoni of rasa. So means, and after that, when Chedan and Upasamaniya variety come, that time also he has given that it is the karma. Chedani Upasamaniya de karmani, and sadhu asadhu is the bhakti. So if we analyze these all the things, what we are going to get, we are getting that our focus is to design one outcome. Outcome as what is the type of rasa. We should not deviate from that focus discussion. We should not deviate the source. We should not discuss the source like Udak is the yoni. We are not discussing the source. We are discussing the common function or outcome like karma, chedani, upasamaniya. We are not discussing. So the focus point is always mentioned that we should not deviate from any focus point. So with this, what I am going to, I am conveying to you that if we analyze these desirable quality, and if we avoid these avoidable quality within us, and if we apply regular basis discourse, then what we are going to get? Now we will develop our skill and competency regarding the presentations. Now I am going to coming to the next point, that is Bad Maryada, Vadamarga. You know, Vadamarga is a point of discussion for, it is used as a tool for Sambhasha. And the purpose of this is to win over the opponent. And with this intention, with having this intention, the debaters usually used some logical terms during the debates. Nowadays, you see in some institute in abroad also, they are using the Nyaya methodology for the debate. Anikshiki debate in some university, they are using the Nyaya syllogism and the Nyaya methodology of debate for getting their skill and competency during the debate in a court. But if you see, if you analyze in a proper manner that our discoursing material in terms of Vadamarga, what we have given the focus, that is much more better, wider, and much more clearer than any darshan in this regard. So we can use these Vadamarga tools for even debate in the court. So there are 44 tools used, and if we analyze, if we categorize all these things, then we can categorize in a different way. Now I am going to say that first, what is the definitions? Definition of Bad. What is Bad? Not what do our definitions. If we take the core meaning, core meanings means whenever we discuss certain topic, but we discuss a subject matter with the basis of classical aphorism, then it is called Vad. Vad means parena saha shastra purvam vigriha kathayati. when we are discussing, we are giving the variant of opinion regarding a topic, that is called Bad. So always in the research course or in daily discourse or in diagnosis or in treatment, we must have difference of opinion. So in these difference of opinion, we can apply. But here in the classical text, it is mentioned for doing the debate. Then what is the Badhya? Next, coming to the point, what is the Badhya? Means the points which are to be discussed, that to be said upon. Which thing we are going to discuss? On which we are discussing. These matters are Drabha, Guna, Karma, Samanya, Vishesha, Samvaya, which is discussed previously. Each and every discussion on a clinical subject will on this sort of padartha only. Either we will discuss on the Drabha or we will discuss on the Guna, Karma, or Samanya, Vishesh, and Samavaya. So, first, after doing Bada, after initiating Bada, a debater should design or should allocate his domain of topic on which he is going to talk or he is going to do the debate. Which aspect? Main aspect is this. After that, after designing the area or domain made Vidrapa, Guna, Karma, Samanya, Vishesh, or Samavaya, then coming to the next point, that how you will going to start? What is your point of discourse? That means pratigya. Means the statement to be, that is pratigya. So in the beginning, after domain decision, domain determinations, you should do the pratigya. And pratigya, in the pratigya, you will justify, you will put one point of focus on which entire discourse will be conducted from your side. Then there will be a reason why you are initiating the debate. Why you are initiating this? Reason to begin. There should be a reason. Normally, there should be a reason. What I am now discussing, I am discussing these 44 points, how the 44 points are arranged in this sequential order, and what is the need of following this sequential order in conducting a discourse or in presenting a matter in a scientific way. What are the different facets on which all the 24 points are measured and put forth in the classics. So reason to begin first is sthapana. Sthapana nama tasyaiva pratigya hetu drishtanta upanaya nigamana sthapana. Purva hi pratigya paschat sthapana. First you have to do the pratigya. Then you have to prove this. Kim hi apratigyatam sthapayishyati. Without making any goal, what you will going to resolve? That is useless, no? So, I am not going to translate each and every word and sentence. I am just conveying one core concept or core thoughts, underlying occult theme of the text. Then, after reason to begin, you have your own reasoning why I am beginning, I am starting this discourse. Then, and again, how you will justify the reasoning? Your reasoning will be justifications by the hetu, drishtanta, and upanay. So, vad starts with a beginning, that is pratigya. Then reason to begin, it's sthapana. Then reasoning is done by your reasoning, your all thought process, your all justification, logical reasoning, everything what you are putting. Then initial basis for your side, that will be hetu, drishtanta, and upanaya. Then there will be conclusion, means there will be first conclusion from your side, that is nigamanam, concluding. So one aspect of one presenter has been finished. After that, we will go what are the other badkams. Then, after putting one things, there might be another possibility to establishing the contrary view. Someone has put one view, then again you have to put the another views. You have put other can put. That is called establishment of the contrary view. Or you can put also this contrary view. Pratisthapana. Pratisthapana nama yasya tasyeva parapratigraya viparitartha sadhana. So again, there will be a contrary, establishing the contrary view also. So actually in the research, we can say, we can analyze it in a different way, not absolutely match with this, but we can say that there is in research, there are two hypotheses. One is the primary hypothesis, another is alternate hypothesis. In primary hypothesis, you have to establish the cause-effect relationship within the primary hypothesis, and in the secondary hypothesis or alternate hypothesis, you have to reject that this alternative hypothesis is not playing role for getting these results. So parapratisthapana also, you can partially use this. Pratisthapana is the parapratigya viparitartha sadhana. Again, for this pratisthapana also, you have to follow the same methodology, that is hetu, upanaya, that is causality, causative factors, then upanaya, then nigaman. When establishment of the contrary view also, you require to use all your reasoning capabilities, reasoning tools. Then coming to the evidence, without any evidence, in the legal court or in other things also, in police also, you will get one is circumstantial evidence, in the true evidence, primary evidence, secondary evidence. There are so many evidence. So without evidence, we cannot do the argument, and each in the other word, we can say argument must have justified with the evidence. So evidence are hetur nama upalabdhi karanam. Evidence are there are four tools by which we use to get the evidence. These tools are the Chaturvida Pramanam. And this is meant for Upalabdhi. Hetu means Upalabdhi Karan, the causes for Upalabdhi, and these tools are Pratyaksha Anumanam, Aitiyam, Upamam. Every Chaturvi, every Hetu be Upalabhate Tattvatvam. So Tattva is being perceived by these four. Okay, then if somewhere in some point of time you require another reasoning, which is analytical reasoning, means when you are giving one example and it is not one evidence which is not easily acceptable for all, in that condition you require one thing, one evidence which is called an example. An example should be given, and that is called Drishtanta. Drishtanta is an evidence. Drishtanta namo yatra murkha vidusam buddhi sammam yu varna varnayati. Drishtanta. And that is in Tantra Yukti also, this is used in a different way, different terms. That is, that we'll discuss later. After Sthapana and Pratisthapana also, there will come, after giving evidence and after countering the view, there will be outcome. That is called Uttaram. Then final Uttar will come. After Sthapana and Pratisthapana, the Uttar will come. Uttara nama sadharma upadishte heto vaidharma vachanam. Vaidharma upadishte hetu va sadharma vachanam. So Uttar will come. Uttar, ultimate justification will come. Then after coming the ultimate justifications, then we will go for establishment of n principles. So passing through all these steps or putting our concept into all these steps, you will get the ultimate principles. That is called Sidhhanta. So Sidhhanta nama shab parikshakai bohvida pariksha heturvishcha sadhayitva sthapate nirnaya. So these are the steps. Bahuvida Pariksha, what are those Bahuvida Pariksha which are discussed previously in this context? That we have discussed certain stages, and with the help of those Pariksha, we will establish one principles, or we will establish your sadhya vachan, your aims and objective of the thesis, or your research title, that is your Sidhhanta. And Sidhhanta can be of 4 types. I am not going to details all these things that you have already read. Then for the purpose of after resoluting the Sidhhanta, we will go for then another Prashna come to get the meaning of words. So Sabda is a Sabda Praman for within the 4 hetu. First one is Sabda Praman, Aptapadesh. So in Sabda, what is called Sabda? Sabda is of 4 types. So Vakyogan, for the purpose of Vakyogan, to apprehend the Sidhhanta. To apprehend the Sidhhanta, we require Vakyogan. For getting the Vakyogan, we will go for the Apta, and that is Sabda Praman. And after argument of the words, means after getting the proper Vakyogan to comprehend or to apprehend the Sidhhanta, we require the process of experience, that is called the Pratyaksha Anumanam, Aitiyam, Anumanam and Opamam, all this. So the Pratyaksha we already discussed. Pratyaksha means direct perception, then Anuman analogy, or Anuman inference, then Opamam analogy, and Aitiyam, that is authoritative testimony. So these all are useful for perseverance. Then if there is any doubt after doing this all exercise, means after establishment of the Sidhhanta, after justifying this with the Sabda and all the Pramanas, if there is any doubt or not, that will be put next. That is doubt or uncertainty as a cause, if there is any doubt or not. Then comes the Samsaya. Samsaya namo sandhya anusandigdeshu artheshu anischaya. So that is means in apparently something is visualizing, and in text or in principle it is saying something else. So then there is a doubt. So for that we have to overcome this. Then whether that doubt is a doubt or it is uncertain, or uncertainty as a cause. After that, apart from the doubt, then starts the prajan. So prajanam namo jad arambhanta arambha. Prajan comes. Coming next to the uncertainty as a consequence. If the uncertainty we have discussed, we have principle, we establish a principle and we have justified the principle with the hetus. And after that also we have to justify whether hetu what we have used, that was properly placed or properly used, or is there is an uncertainty in the consequences. Then comes Abhaya Vichar, then examination of examining the results and its correctness, whether result which is coming, is there any doubt? Is for examination of the result comes the jigyasa. Then after that also ascertaining the correctness of the Sidhhanta and its justification is proper or not. For that you require the Vyavasaya. That is why Vyavasaya comes. The Vyavasaya Nama Nishchaya. And in the Jigyasa Nama Pariksha. Then, though it is the topic is little bit clumsy, because we are relating the sequential order of these things. And that is used in day-to-day argumenting, day-to-day justification of your thoughts in an article or in a thesis. Everywhere we are using all the things, but we are not consciously using. That is why I am putting some light on this, that whatever we are using, that is consciously we are using, or it is not used in a proper manner. Then interfering from the circumstances, inferring. So in some conditions where the direct inference is not able to made, or some direct inferences is not written, in that condition we have to infer certain things which is not mentioned from a phase which is not mentioned, but which is mentioned in a jugupsita way, which is not directly said. It is said in an indirect manner. Like arthoprapti nama jad ekena uktena arthena aparasya arthasya anuktasya api siddhi. In justification of certain things which is not directly said, inferencing of the certain thing which is directly not said from the other topic, other statement. That is santaparana sadhya vyadhir ukte bhavati arthapapti. You already know about this, so I am not going in detail. Then after that, probability and possibilities. For assessing the probability and possibilities of the inference or whatever done previously, for that we require Sambhava. That is why this Sambhava has come. Now, what are the possibilities of any incidents? Whether the cause is the sole cause, the whatever cause you have think that is the primary cause is the sole cause. Like we have three different causes, Samvaya, Asubhaya, Nimittakaran, or any other cause in a thesis, like primary happens everywhere. What is the possible causative factor and what will be the outcome? That is Sambhava. And after confirmation of the fact, for the reproof or further clarifications, after confirmation of the fact, okay, possibility is done. Then if we ask for reproof or further clarification is needed, if it is needed, then we have to give the further clarifications. Or asking, you can ask someone, you give your another proof, that is called reproof, after confirmations also. Because in the previous confirmation, there is some loopholes, so you require some further clarifications. That is called Anujajyam. Anujajyam namam yad vakyam bhaktadosu yuktam. So in that condition, you require some further clarifications. If there is no requirement of further clarifications, that is called Anujajyam. Anujajyam namato viparyayana. I am asadhya. That is clear statement. Place of no further clarifications, where further clarifications is not needed. Then next point is interrogations. In interrogations, again the other points starts interrogations of the previously clarified or unclarified part. So first Anuyogam namam Swajat Tadvidyanam Tadvidyarevo Sardam Tantra Ekadeseva Prashna Ekadeseva Jnana Vijnana Vachana Prativachana Parikshartam Adishyate. Means starts interrogation. Again inquiry in interrogations. Then again after interrogation also, if anything unclarifications, anything things are remain unclarified, again you have to interrogating the unclarified aspect. That is called Pratyamujog. Again you can inquire after interrogation also again. Then starts with the Bhakvadas. It is very, very important in research writing, writing of the articles and presentation of it is everywhere. That is Bhakyam Bhakvadosu Yuktam. Your Bhakya, whatever you are presenting, the Bhakya, that Bhakya must have some qualities. It must not have some errors. So first one, doing the errors, discussing the error. Errors is, there are 5 different errors which are mentioned: Anarthakam, Aparthakam, Viruddhyam, Nunam, Adhikam. So that is already discussed. You might be knowing about that. So avoidings of the Bhakyados and establishment of true sentence, that is called sentence without error, is called Bhakya Prasamsa. So again, It should not be anunam, anadikam, arthavatam, aparthakam, aviruddham, adhigata padarthas cheti. Yadvakyam anunuyajyam prasasate. If the vakya is added, is associated with the vakya, those that require anuyajyam, if it is vakya prasansa is there, so it is again no clarification or no other discussion is needed. So that is anunuyajyam. Then again, last, perverting the sense of words. Then again, when you are doing the doing some kind of covering of some things, chala, then that is also part of the tools to subdue, or sometimes some humor can be used. So two different types of chal person used. One is bak chal, another is samanya chal. Then comes vahetu, justification of vahetu also needed. Then prohibition or interdict. Some prohibition is needed. But if required some prohibition, then that should be addressed. So after these things, everything which are mentioned as a point of bath that are to be addressed during the course of bath and that are to be taken care of, whether this matter is not overlooked, and that were the points where someone can get someone explore the weakness of the others, and someone sometimes get trapped by the others. So the interdict or prohibition in that conditions, it require upalamba namo hetur dosha vachanam. Then removing the errors, parihara. If there is interdict, then dosha vachanam. If upalamba is there, then that should be removed. Parihara nama tasya dosha vachanasya pariharanam. With the justification, you have to remove this dosha vachanam. Then giving up the proposition. And again, if there is any kind of deviations from the pratigya, giving up the pratigya, then that should be indicated and that should be addressed and taken care of in a proper manner. Then after that, abhyanunga, assent or approval. Abhyanunga nama jab ishta anishta abdhugama. After that comes the last. In the last comes, if there is any another causative factor, hetvantaram is there, any another argument is there, whether any another argument, like after in any court process, the last we give some other evidence, another arguments, then also you can give other arguments, that is called hetvantaram. Then arthantaram, introducing some other matter also. Sometimes some people for discourse, in the discourse, some people had some kind of hetu which is not in accordance with the topic, discussed topic, and sometimes some people had also give some arthantaram also. That should be taken care of. If it is not needed, it should be removed. If it is to be mentioned for as a dose of the others, that should be mentioned. Then after that, nigraha sthanam, the reason of being unfit or to carry out an agreement. After all doing things, you have to justify whether the opponent with whom you are doing the discourse is competent or fit for carry out the argument or not. So with this all discussion, what I have given, what I have mentioned, I mentioned how these tools are planned and put forth here for using. For first one is for exploring various domain aspects and facets before you, that what kind of argument, but what kind of thinking you must have before presenting all the things. Again, next one is number 2 is to develop skill and competency in all the things, all these aspects, for all your statement, your narration, or your each and every word must be with without the fault which are mentioned, and with must be without the fault, and with adorning with these all qualities. So that is the need of Vada. Next, we will go for Tantra Yukti. Though Tantra Yukti is not directly used for planning a research in a nutshell, but it is required to present your research project or a research title in a written document, so that your written document will be scientific with the proper reasoning and tools. So it is need of Tantra Yukti to construct the proper way of presentation of result in research in the form of thesis and dissertation. It is the main aim. We will not go into details. Actually, Tantra Yukti are the tools following which these the ancient scholars or the learned scholars used this text, written in the text in a codified manner. Without decoding all this, there will be very difficult to understand this codified matter. So need is the increase the analytical mind and promotion of the intellect. That is the need. Here I am not going to detail, justify all the aspects. There is 40 Tantra Yukti as per the Bhattar Harichandra, and Charaka 36, Susruta 32, different Tantra Yukti, someone has added, someone has cut. So as a nutshell, we can say that each possible angle of presentations, right from the context, right from the need, and right from the consequential order, prasanga, prakaran, and adhikaran, everyone is needed as per the contextual need. So see, these are the meanings. I am not going to the meaning in details. Name of Tantra Yukti, and each and every Tantra Yukti has some specific need. These needs, we can say that these needs are used while writing the presentation. Your presentation means writing your outcome, the research in the form of book or anything. That adhikarana, subject in which work to be done, then prayojana, then nirnaya, then udesh is with presentation, then padartha, nirdesh, vyakhyana, vidhana, swasanga. These are all are descriptive by words, description, elaboration, description, different way of description. Then atidesh, atita vekshana, anagata vekshana, these are referencing style of from the external source, past reference, future reference. These are the referencing tools. And some tools are discussing tool, like previous what I said, these are the discussing tool, and some are the subject matter. Then prasanga, style of presentation, the style of conjugation of multiple matter, sometimes a style of creating new definitions for the science, like style of directives, style of then anekanta, viparjaya, and anumad. These are different kinds of avoidance of the opposite meaning, sometimes admitting of the opposite meaning, sometimes admitting of the other's views. That is anumata. Viparjaya, admitting of the opposite view. So these all are tools we can use in our day-to-day writings, and we must use day-to-day writing. If we will be adept with this using, then only we can understand what is written in our text. I am discussing in a retrospective manner. Actually, we have to understand this while reading our text. Until unless we understand this, we will not able to explore the terms and hidden underlying facts of the text. Then Apamarga, style of exception, then understanding of the origin in Sambhava. Then Sami is process of analysis, in some kind of process of searching Purvapakshas, process of nullifying opposition. Pratyutsa, then process of establishing a new fact, that is called Uddhara. So these are some meanings. If we use the Tantra Yukti, if we analyze the usages of Tantra Yukti in a clinical perspective, what we are going to get? That is Tantra Yukti in the clinics, how you can use. The patient suffering and patient problem and disease, we can use the adhikarana. Then for the history and examinations, we use this all Hetvartha, Padartha, Uddesha, Nirdesha, Anumata, Sambhava. We can use. Then provisional diagnosis, also drawing relation between the clinical features obtained from the history and examination, that is yoga. Then Vattosesa, incomplete history. Then Arthapatti, understanding from the history. Then we hear understanding from the unsaid history. So these in the provisional diagnosis, we use these 4-5 things. Then in laboratory investigations, Swasanga, Patidesh, Nidarshanam, Nirvachanam, like Pandit Buddhigama Vishaya and Murko Vidu Samjo, Buddhigamam Jo Varna Varnaiti. Here we can use this. When we are using, we can use means we are using day-to-day life, but we are not knowingly using. And differential diagnosis, Pratyuchar, nullifying the odd one. Then Uddhara, establishing the final diagnosis, that is Uddhara, differential diagnosis. In final diagnosis, Ekanta, prognosis, we can say. And in the final diagnosis, understanding of specific diagnosis and prognosis, we can use Anikanta. In the management, aim of the management, that is the provision to cure the disease and prevent from the further attack, that is Swastharakshanam, Aturasya Vikarasa Pasamanancha. Then establishment of good clinical practice, also Nirnaya, presence of efficient staff, everything, principle of treatment, Ekanta, specific treatment also we can give. Then advice, what we'll write, that is Uddesha, mandatory directive, sometimes we use our own terms. Then application of advice, Niyoga, how you use these things. Then specific directives, Apadesha, awareness of counseling about the do's and don'ts. Then Apavarga, what Viparjaya, Samuchaya, Vikalpa, Pradesh, Vidhana, Vyakhyana, these we used for special directives. Then follow up. Follow up also we use aims, that is follow up, prevent from the further attack, that is also provision aim. Then follow up, examination, investigation, prasanga, repetition of examinations, then future advice, Atita Vikshan, then Anagata Vikshan, everything we can use. So actually, in a nutshell, and I will take 5 minutes, everything what we have discussed, that is the subject matter, Vad and the Tadvidya Sambhasha are the subject matter from the different perspective. But actual domain of knowledge of research is discussed under the Dasvidya Pariksha Bhav. I will not go into the detail. I just saw these are the actual research topics. That is the evaluation of the 10-fold examinations, that is handling of the ethical issues, comes under the cause. Karanam Bhishak iti Ugram Agre. That depicts the quality required for the members of the research team, and it comes under the handling of ethical issue, types of supervisions, then reminder of the supervisor, then thorough knowledge of the research. Everything comes under the first point, the Dasvidya Pariksha, that is Karanam. Then in the Karan, intervention and treatment comes. It depicts the level of intervention, varieties of drugs, application, collection, storage, natural quality, efficacy, and origins. Then, though it is not comes under my topic today, but as it is discussed, because the Bad and the other things will be done on the basis of this only in the research. That is why, due to the contextual need, I am just giving just a glimpse. Then Karya, what is Karya? By which the metamorphosis attained in the state of actions. Key points are the advent of the disease, how the disease occurs, the diagnosis of the disease, there's the symptomatology, curability, sadhata, and the stages of disease. Here comes under the problem of research question, conduction, cause-effect relationship, physiological and pathophysiology. Then Karyam Dhatu Sammam. So for the Dhatu Samma, depicts the alleviation of the morbid conditions, research objective and outputs we can discuss. Then Karyapalam Sukha Prapti. Within this, the purpose for whose accomplishment the action is undertaken. It depicts the attainment of happiness, of achieving goal in terms of satisfaction of mind, intellect, sense, everything. And here, from the research topic, fruits, frustrations, outcome, disease, death, recovery, side effect, death spectrum, everything of the research topic comes under this. Then Anubandha, in Anubandha, it depicts the synchronized equilibrium, hemostasis of life by achieving the outcomes. And in the research topic, it comes, the topic comes within this is life expectancy, survival of the quality of life, goal, everything. Then this, the patient, population, and comparator, everything comes under the desa. Then place, everything, place, then examination of the patient comes under the need, lifespan, all things. Then ultimate terms, time. Time depicts the impact of the season on the stages of the disease, body, quality, the medicinal plant, endurance of the body, and the treatment. Drawing a timetable, timings related to the medicines, administration, duration, follow-up, environmental factor, everything comes under the Kala. Then endeavors. Pravittistu Pratikarma Samarambha. It depicts the lawful, rational, synchronized action of the research team, including the patients. It is actual investigation. And Upaya depicts the proper and adequate implementation of all aforesaid factors except the Karyapala and Anubandha. And within this, in the research point, effective planning, designing, development protocol, development of the tools, everything comes. So in conclusion, actually, the Tadvidya Sambhasha, Vadamarga, everything will be discussed in the research perspective on the basis of Pariksha. So Tadvidya Sambhasha helps in developing skills. Vadamarga use of specific tools and techniques for presentation. It is required. And Tantra Yukti required for construction of the writing things properly. Though this topic, all the topics are very, very, very vast. So it is not possible to complete a topic like this within 20 minutes span because I have completed within 1 hour time. It is not possible. So excuse me for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for such a concise and research relevant presentations of these three topics. Now the session is open for the queries. Participants who are having any kind of queries can ask. Either they can raise their hands or can drop your queries in the chat box. Again,
All participants
participants
are requested that please write your query in chat box or raise your hand so I can send you unmute request.
Is there any question of previous day? That time it was not, the audio was not working. If anything has some queries, please send me by email.
Is there any query? Please raise your hand or write your query in chat box.
अभी वो लड़के को बुला, अभी मेरे मैं सेमिनार में। एक सेकंड उनको आने दो ना, तू मेरे को भुगतान करना। हेलो
अमित जी, कोई क्वेरीज है क्या? कोई चैट बॉक्स
Ma'am,
में?
I think there is no query. Everyone responding that thank you, everything. Thank you for informative session, sir. I think there is no more query. If there is any query, I left the mail ID and participants are requested
mail
that.
ID. You share my mail ID and
Yes,
let
sir.
them
Yes,
put
sir.
their mails.
Yes, sir. Write down in chat box, and if anyone have query, then they can ask through the mail.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for such an informative session. Now, to conclude this session, I would like to invite Chairperson of today's session, Professor Surendra Ved.
Sarika ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Okay. Sorry to say. Now, I would like to invite the Chairperson of today's session, Professor Surendra Ved Pathak, sir, to kindly conclude the session. Sir is having more than 31 years of 27 years of teaching experience and more than 22 years of research experience. Sir has been principal investigator of many Ayush or government funded projects which were measures. So without taking much time, I invite sir to kindly conclude the session.
Sarika ma'am, your voice is not coming.
Am I audible? Am I audible now? Hello.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Hello. I am able to hear you. Am I audible? Am I audible? I would like to invite chairperson of today's session, Professor Surendra Ved Pathak, sir, for concluding the session. अमित जी, अभी आवाज आ रही है मेरी? हेलो.
Sir, you are not audible.
हेलो.
हाँ, अब आ रहा है सर.
Thanks, Dr. Sarika ji Yadav, madam, for introduced me, and good evening to all of you, participants and teachers. Those are participated in this training program. So I thanks to Research Dean, Dr. Chajuram Yadav, sir, for invited me as a chairperson. I congratulate Dr. Asit Panja, sir. He has delivered informative and best lecture on the topic Tadvidya Sambhasha, Vadamarga and Tantra Yukti. His lecture includes major three parts. It's Tadvidya Sambhasha, and he have nicely explained its goals and rules. Then Vadamarga, uses and practical forms. Then Tantra Yukti's technical analysis, how to do analysis by Tantra Yukti. Very nice and informative lecture he has given today. And lastly, he concluded in his lecture, Tadvidya Sambhasha is for improvement of the skills. Then Vadamarga will be for the right presentation, attractive presentation of your research work. And then lastly, he has concluded Tantra Yukti for the writing results properly. It is a very nice lecture he has delivered. I again congratulate Dr. Asit Panja sir, and thanks to all of you. Hello?
Thank you. Nice word, sir.
Okay.
Now, from the Joint State Training Center of Rajasthan, we convey our sincere thanks to all the participants for their active participation and commitment for today's session. We heartily thanks the guest speaker of today's session, Dr. Asit Panja sir, who kept participants engaged by the way of very informative lecture. We also thanks today's our chairperson, Professor Surendra Pathak sir, for chairing today's session and sharing his experience and view about the session.
Thank you very much.